Good morning, students. So last class we discussed metallurgy. Okay, then today I'm going to discuss about the D black element and F black element. Okay. Now first we mentioned D black element. From this chapter also we can expect one question NEET examination D and F. So we can expect one question NEET examination. So first, how to identify whether given element is D black element or F black element is based on last electron entry. If last electron enter into the D subshell, then that element belongs to the D black element. So D subshell consists of total 5 d orbitals are present: dxy, dxz, yz, x square minus y square, dz square. So each orbital can hold a maximum of 2 electrons with opposite spin. Then total 10 elements are possibilities there. So further, these D black elements are further classified into 10 groups. Okay, D black elements are further classified into total 10 groups are present, starting from group 3 to group 12 is present. Okay. Next year, what is the main difference between D black element and a transition element here? D black element and a transition element. Now, so I'm giving definition for a transition element beta here. So transition element and a D black element. So what is the main difference between these two? D black element as well as transition element. Then what is the transition element means? The elements which are having unpaired electrons in ground state are its most probable oxidation state +2. For all transition element or D black element is general oxidation state is +2. Okay. Then we required at least one unpaired electrons in ground state or most common oxidation state +2. Okay. Those elements are really called transition elements are present. But let us observe now zinc, cadmium, zinc element I am taking. So zinc atomic number is 30. Then its electronic configuration argon 3d8, 3d10, 4s2. Okay, 3d10, 4s is electronic configuration. Then observe this ground state electronic configuration of zinc. Any unpaired electron is present. 3d10 is completely filled. 4s2 also completely filled. Okay, d orbital is completely filled. Then no unpaired electron is present. Let us take its most common oxidation state is Zn +2, zinc +2. So +2 means loss of 2 electron. Then loss of 2 electron case, then remove electron from 4s. In that situation, you will get beta 3d10. Now in ground state as well as most common oxidation state, there is no unpaired electron. So D subshell is completely filled. Okay. D subshell is completely filled. Now these are called not a transition element. So transition element definition is what? At least one unpaired electron, most common oxidation state +2. Okay. So now that all zinc group elements, zinc, let us say cadmium or mercury. So these are not a transition element. So zinc, cadmium, mercury is not a transition element. Why? Because it is completely filled electronic configuration present. Otherwise, you take now simple copper. So copper, now argon 3d10, 4s1. So D is completely filled in a ground state, but most common oxidation state +2 take. So copper +2. So copper +2 condition case now we need to remove electron. Then what will get beta here? 3d9, 4s0. So D9. Here incompletely filled d orbitals are present. Okay, incompletely filled d orbitals are present. Then this is my transition element only. So unpaired electron are incompletely filled d orbitals required. Incompletely filled D subshell is required, then that is transition element. So based on that, we can conclude that all transition elements are a D black element. So copper is D black as well as transition. But all D black elements are not a transition. Okay, all transitions are D black, but all D blacks are not a transition. Copper, zinc, cadmium, mercury is my D black element, but not a transition. This is very important. In examination, the last, which of the following is not a transition element? Okay, which of the following is not a transition element means? So for transition element condition is what? In a ground state or a most common oxidation state, incompletely filled d orbitals is required. Incompletely filled d orbitals is required, then that is called as transition element. That is the main difference between D black and the transition element. Okay. Then coming to now general properties of D black elements. Okay, general properties of D black element case. In that first property, I am taking atomic radius. Okay, atomic radius. Before that, I am directly taking electronic configuration. I am taking first thing I am taking. See, electronic configuration of D black elements. Okay, what is general electronic configuration now? NS2. Okay, NS2, NP, 1 NP 0, N minus 1, D 0 to 10. Okay, N minus 1, 0 to 10, or N minus 1, D 1 to 10 is the generalized electronic configuration for D block element. Okay, then these D block elements are further classified into three series: 3D series, 4D series, 5D series. Okay, 3D series, 4D series, 5D series. That is general electronic configuration for D block element. Then coming to the atomic radius. Atomic radius for D block element. So here also atomic radius is let us take 3D series, 4D series, 5D series. Okay, 3D, 4D, 5D series. Means from moving down the group, atomic radii always increases. Here moving down the group, atomic radii increases. Now across the period, atomic radii decrease, but here slight exceptions also there. Okay, why? Because of poor shielding effect of D and F are present. So here atomic radii moving down the group increases, but increase in size is very small. Okay, increase in size is very small. Further only in case of titanium zirconium. So titanium zirconium atomic radius nearly same. Why? Because of poor shielding effect of orbital titanium, and it is considered zirconium. Atomic radii of these two is nearly same because of lanthanide contraction or D black element case, poor shielding effect condition case. Okay, that is atomic radii condition case. Then next thing is coming to the oxidation state. Okay, next is coming to the oxidation state. So oxidation state condition case one. Now the general electronic configuration I'm taking over here. You see Ns, N minus 1, D and Ns orbitals are present over here. N minus 1, D and Ns orbitals are present. So Ns condition case one, yes, maximum 2 electrons only possibilities there. D condition case one, 10 electrons are there. Then here two possibilities are there. During compound formation, that element utilizes only outermost electron, or along with this outermost electron, N minus 1 D also participated in the bonding. Okay, now when this situation will happen, if it is less energy difference between Ns and the N minus 1 D orbital, then during compound formation, element utilizes along with N as well, N minus 1 D orbitals also participated. Okay, so generally D black element shows variable oxidation state. Okay, variable oxidation state. D black elements are shows variable oxidation state. Variable means more than one oxidation state. Then what is the main reason for variable oxidation state? Means less energy difference between. So less energy difference between Ns and N minus 1 D orbital. Okay, Ns and N minus 1 D orbital. So because of this reason, during compound formation, along with Ns electron, N minus 1 D electrons also participated in the bonding. As a result, most of the D block element exhibit variable oxidation state, right? Okay, then see coming to the common oxidation state here. So common oxidation state is the +2 is the common oxidation state for D black element. Okay, common oxidation state is the +2 is the common because outermost NS2 is present. Then what is its minimum oxidation state? So minimum oxidation state is beta +1, or in some cases 0 also possibility is there. In which cases 0 means metal carbonyl condition case. Metal shows 0 oxidation state. Okay, generally I am taking minimum is the +1, but 0 also possibility is there in metal carbonyl. Okay, in metal carbonyl, metal is 0 oxidation state. Then what is the maximum oxidation state over here? So what is the maximum oxidation state is maximum oxidation state is +8 in D black element. Which elements are present? That is osmium and ruthenium is the +8. But if I consider only 3D series only. Okay, 3D series condition case, maximum oxidation state in 3D series is beta +7 only. That is which element? Manganese. Manganese shows +7 oxidation state. Okay. Now based on given question only. So what is the highest oxidation D black element? +8. What is the highest oxidation state in 3D series? +7 is the highest oxidation state in a 3D series condition. Okay. These are the variable oxidation state. Reason is this one. Then coming to the applications of oxidation state. What is the main use of the oxidation state? Applications of variable oxidation state. Now this thing will be important here. Now applications. Now let us consider chromium series. Now chromium series case which elements are present? Chromium, molybdenum, tungsten. Okay, in chromium group which elements are present? Chromium, molybdenum, tungsten. For chromium atomic number is what? Chromium is 24. So 24 electronic configuration 3d5 4s1. Then for chromium maximum oxidation state is +6 is the maximum oxidation state. Chromium atomic number is 24. Electronic configuration 3d5 4s1 stable one. Then it uses 6 electrons present over here. Then chromium exhibit +6 means the elements which are present in chromium group also exhibit +6 oxidation state. Now which elements are present in chromium group is chromium +6. Next molybdenum. In that group only I am taking chromium, molybdenum, tungsten. So all are my exhibit +6 oxidation state. Then what is the stability of all these oxidation state? So stability. So stability. Now oxidation state is much same only. Okay, +6, +6, +6 I am taking. Then which element holds the maximum positive charge? The element which is large size. The element which is large size can hold the maximum positive charge. Then till chromium, molybdenum, tungsten to down the group. Chromium, molybdenum, tungsten case down the group. Size increases atomic radii. Then which is the most stable one here? Tungsten +6 is the most stable one. Okay, tungsten +6 is the most stable one. Similarly, coming to the manganese group case now, manganese is +7 possibilities there. Manganese, technetium, rhenium. Okay, this manganese group element. So all are my exhibit +7 oxidation state. So +7 oxidation state, +7 oxidation state. Means based on these two, we can conclude that moving down the group, highest oxidation state stability increases. Okay, in D black element case, moving down the group, highest oxidation state stability also increases. Okay, this point will be important. Then second application is we can also say based on this one, so you can identify the nature of the compound. Means whether given compound is ionic compound or covalent compound. So based on this compound, let us assume now I am taking one example. So VCl2, VCl3, VCl4, VCl5 I am taking. So vanadium I am taking. Vanadium, scandium, titanium, vanadium. Vanadium is 23. So 3d3, 4s2. 5 valence electrons are present. So vanadium exhibits maximum +5 oxidation state. In VCl2 +2 oxidation state, VCl3 +3, VCl4 +4, VCl5 +5 oxidation state is present. Then they'll ask now over here among these 4 compound which is most ionic, which is most covalent. So for that you apply Khalif-Hazan's rule only. Okay, Khalif applies Hazan's rule because negative ion is much same. Anion is much same. The nature of the compound depends upon size of cation. Okay, here anion size is more remains the same. Nature of the nature of the compound depends upon Kali size of the cation. Now V +2 +3 +4 +5. So as positive charge increases, size beta, size decreases. As positive charge increases, size always decreases. Then which is small covalent character increase. Then based on that we can conclude that so low oxidation state and highest. So lowest oxidation state. So lowest oxidation state element. Next is highest oxidation state element. So highest oxidation state element. Then we can conclude its nature too also. If any element present is my highest oxidation state means. So here now cation is the small size. Small size cation means more polarization power. More polarization power means more covalent character. Means highest oxidation state is covalent compound. So covalent compound. Now minimum oxidation state is ionic compound. Okay, this way we can identify the which is the most covalent, which is the most ionic based on Hazan's rule. Okay. Next thing, one more important property for this case, so we can identify the nature of the oxide. Whether given oxide is acidic oxide or amphoteric or basic oxide. Based on oxidation state also we can find. So to understand that one I am taking examples of manganese. So MnO, Mn2O3, MnO2, MnO2, Mn2O5, MnO3. Okay, MnO3, manganese O3. Next. Mn2O7 I am taking. Okay, these oxides is given like that chromium oxides of this. Okay, simply I am increasing oxygen atom only. Here one oxygen atom, next 1.5. 1.5 in the sense 3 by 2 means Mn2O3. Next 2. Next 2.5 means 5 by 2. 3. 3.5 means 7 by 2 oxygen atom. And then the last, which is most acidic, which is most basic, which is amphoteric oxide. Then you identify oxidation state only. So plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, manganese oxidation state, plus 5. Okay, here plus 5, plus 6, here plus 7. Okay, that is my plus 7. Then if acidic nature depends upon my oxidation state. As oxidation state increases, my acidic nature also increases. Means highest oxidation state always my acidic oxides. Okay, highest oxidation state covalent as well as my acidic oxide. Means these two is the highest oxidation state then acidic oxide. Okay, acidic oxide highest. Then lowest oxidation states are present is the lowest oxide is my basic oxide. Basic oxide. Okay. Then middle one are present. Middle is the amphoteric. Amphoteric oxide. Then example last, which is the acidic oxide, basic oxide, amphoteric oxide. Highest is the acidic oxide, middle is the amphoteric, least is the basic oxide condition. Okay, least is the basic oxide condition. Then next year one more application for oxidation state is oxidizing nature or stability of oxy acid. Okay, stability of oxy acid. For chromium, maximum oxidation state is what plus 6. Then coming to the its stability of oxy acid. So oxy acid case I am taking CrO4 minus 2. Now here chromium is now present in plus 6 oxidation state only. Like that MO, molybdenum oxide O4 minus 2. Next tungsten O4 minus 2. In all cases metal present in plus 2 1. Then what is the stability? Here also they will ask stability. Stability. You just go through oxidation state only. Now the oxidation state is same. And if oxidation state is same, is moving down the group, highest oxidation state stability always increase. Then which is most stable? So this one is the most stable. Okay, MO4 tungsten. Tungsten oxide is the most stable. Clear? Then coming to the its oxidizing power, which is strong oxidizing agent. So oxidizing agent. Okay, which are they following? A strong oxidizing agent. Now simple logic. Oxidizing agent means what? Itself undergoes reduction. What is reduction in terms of hydrogen? Addition of hydrogen is called reduction. Okay, addition of hydrogen. Now here all possibilities there, it accepts the hydrogen. Okay, CrO4 minus 1, it accepts the hydrogen, then it converted to be H2CrO4. Okay, H2CrO4. Like that one, in which cases hydrogens are readily accepted is the question. Okay, in which condition hydrogens are readily accepted? To accept the hydrogen molecule must be unstable. If molecule itself stable, it won't accept any hydrogen. Okay, if molecule is unstable, then only it accepts the hydrogen, right? Then here, but see, moving down the group, highest oxidation state stability increases. Now this is the most stable one. Most stable one, it will not accept any hydrogen, then it will not accept oxidizing agent. So it will also accept oxidizing agent, but strength is very less. Then which is strong oxidizing agent among these three? So this first one is strong oxidizing agent. So oxidizing agent power is this one. Okay, oxidizing agent power is this one. So CrO4 minus 2, MoO4 minus 2, tungsten oxide. Okay, tungsten oxide. So that is the condition, right? Then similarly same thing you apply for manganese condition. This for chromium I am taking. If I take manganese case, so manganese condition case, what will get here? Plus 7 oxidation state. So manganese condition case, now oxidizing strength case for MnO, take manganese technetium. So TcO4 minus, next rhenium, ReO4 minus. This is oxidizing power. Okay, oxidizing power. Stability will get reversed. Clear? But now comparison between these two is given, chromate and this one. So which is having high oxidizing power. Okay, which is having high oxidizing power. CrO4 minus 2 and MnO4 minus 2. Which is best oxidizing agent means manganese. Why? Because of more oxidation state increases. Your oxidation state is plus 6, whereas in manganese case, that is plus 7. Okay, this whole thing. Which are the following is best oxidizing agent. Permanganate is the best oxidizing agent and dichromate condition case. Clear beta? This is for applications of oxidation state. Right. Then next property is over here. Next property condition case color properties. So color properties. So most of the D black element are a transition element exhibit color property. Most of the D black element exhibit color property. Now here, what is the main reasons for color property? So generally, D subshell consists of 5 d orbitals are present. So D subshell consists of 5 d orbitals are present. So initially, these 5 d orbitals will have same energy level is present. Okay. Initially, this 5 d orbitals are same energy level is present. This is called now degenerate level. Okay. So degenerate level means all will have equal energy level, free metal atom. But when this free metal atom placed in ligand solution, okay, this free metal atom placed in ligand solution, some splitting occurs. Okay, due to that splitting case, now here see some d orbital energy is reduced, another d orbital energy is increases. Some d orbital energy is reduced, remaining d orbital energy is increases. Then assume in this metal, now this is metal I'm taking, right? First. So one transition metal, a D black element I'm taking. Here one unpaired electron is present. Now that unpaired electron is present over here. Why? Because electron always occupies the lowest energy level. If it is still the lowest energy level, then it goes to the highest energy level. Now electron present over here. Now this electron absorb energy from the surroundings. Okay, assume this electron absorb energy from the surrounding. Then what will happen if an electron absorb energy from the surroundings? Immediately it goes to the excited state. Okay, immediately it goes to the excited state. So immediately it goes to the excited state. But excited state electron will have higher energy. So as energy increases, stability decreases. Okay, as energy increases, stability decreases. Then these excited electrons are highly unstable. Then readily return back to its original ground state. Okay, readily return back to its original ground state. De-excitation. Okay, de-excitation process will take place. Then during this de-excitation, it emits certain radiations in visible region. Okay, during this de-excitation, it emits certain radiations in visible region. As a result, metal complex or metal exhibit color properties. Okay, during this de-excitation, it emits certain radiations in which region? But visible region only. Okay, visible region, VGR. Okay, visible region case. For that, D black element exhibit color property. Then now conclusion here. What is the main criteria for to exhibit color property? Means that the metal consists of at least one unpaired electron, or at least one electron is required. Then only it exhibit color properties. Then only it exhibit color property. Means it must require so to exhibit color properties, at least one electron is required. Okay, at least one electron must required. Now you take D0, D10. Okay, now they will give us simply one ion. In that ion, if metal possesses D0 or D10, it does not show color property. Why? Because of no D electron over here. 3D10 electrons are present, but no space is available for excitation. So already these 10 electrons are completely filled. D subshell can hold maximum 10, now that electrons is filled. Then no excitation. When excitation is possible, to means if it is higher energy level, any space is available, then only excitation will take place. But because of this D10, in excited state, no free space is available, so it will won't excite at all. Clear for that? D0, D10 is the always colorless compound. Okay, D0, D10 is the colorless compound. Now this point is very, very important. Okay, then how they will ask question based on this concept you see now. So in exam they will ask which of the following ions are colorless? Okay, which of the following ion is colorless? Okay, in exam they will ask simply which of the following ions is colorless. Now given ion is let us take now titanium plus 3 is given. So titanium plus 3 is colored or colorless we required. Okay, or titanium scandium, first you take scandium plus 3. Scandium plus 3. For that we require first scandium atomic number. So scandium atomic number is how much more? Calcium scandium is 21. Then write down electronic configuration. Argon 3d1 4s2. Okay, till argon 18 electrons completed. 18 plus 2 20 plus 1 21 is for that is scandium general electron configuration. Then scandium plus 3 beta. Scandium plus 3 means how many electrons we need to remove? 3 electrons we need to remove. Then what will get here? Argon 3d0 4s0. Because last of these 3 electrons, 2 plus 1 3 electrons. Now D0. D0 is colored or colorless? D0 is now colorless compound. Means scandium plus 3 is the colorless ion. Okay, let us take next one more ion, titanium plus 4. Titanium plus 4 is colored or colorless. Now titanium atomic number is 22. So now 3d2 4s will get plus 4. Remove 4 electron, there also will get d0. Means in these two conditions or any other case, so you simply check so whether d electrons are present or not. If no d electron, then this ion system are colorless. Okay, this ion system are colorless. Okay, this type questions is very very important. Which of the following pair of ions are colorless, or which of the following pairs is colored? Okay, to undergo color in this case. But here one exception also. There is some compound is my exception. Let us take now dichromate K2Cr2O7 is you take. Now here chromium present in plus 6 oxidation state. In dichromate chromium present in plus 6 state. Now chromium atomic number is 24. Electronic configuration you take now argon 3d5 4s1 is the stable electronic configuration. Then chromium plus 6 configuration we required. So chromium plus 6 case now argon 3d0 4s0. Okay, d0 means it must be colorless. But though dichromate is colored compound, which colored compound? Dichromate is orange colored compound. Dichromate is orange colored compound. Then what is reason for this one? Similarly, one more compound also I am giving potassium permanganate. Okay, potassium permanganate, here manganese present in beta plus 7 oxidation state. So manganese atomic number now 25. Atomic number is 25. Electronic configuration you see argon 3d5 4s2. 3d5 4s2. So manganese plus 7 means now remove 7 electron. Then what will get you see 3d0 4s0 means this also d0, but though this is more colored compound. So which colored compound? That is pink colored compound. Okay. Now here these two compound case, even though d0 is not present, colored compound. Okay. D0 is present but colored compound. Then what is the reason behind this one? So in this case, color properties due to color properties due to charge transfer spectrum. Charge transfer spectra. Okay, this sentence will be my important. Charge transfer spectra. Now again question possibility. Which of the following ion is colored due to DD transition? Okay, DD transition is if unpaired electron is present, it shows color due to DD transition. Color due to DD transition. But in this case, potassium permanganate and potassium dichromate and potassium permanganate color due to charge transfer spectra. Okay. Then color properties case two reasons are there. One is the DD transition. Okay, DD transition. This is my DD transition. D orbital. Second reason is my charge transfer spectrum. Then example, which of the following is colored due to charge transfer spectrum? This is my colored due to charge transfer spectrum. Or which of the following is colorless? These are the colorless. Or which of the following is colored due to DD transition? So DD transition case no possibility D1 to D9 is present, then that is DD transition is possible. Clear beta? This example is very important. And similarly, some more example also is present like silver bromide. In silver bromide, silver plus that is D10. Silver plus is D10. But though that is colored compound because of polarization. Okay, because of polarization, like that here some examples also there beta. Clear? This one now, color property. Next is magnetic properties. Okay, color properties is important beta. Next coming to the magnetic property. Magnetic property case here two conditions are possibilities there. Either diamagnetic or paramagnetic. Paramagnetic means if any unpaired electrons are present. Unpaired electrons are present. Paramagnetic, if all are paired electrons are present, then that is called diamagnetic. Okay, in maximum they'll ask how to calculate its magnetic moment. Okay, magnetic moment is indicated by symbol mu. What is the chemical formula to calculate this? Root over n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. So Bn is the unit for magnetic moment, where n is the number of unpaired electrons. N is equal to number of unpaired electrons. Number of unpaired electrons is n value. Then substitute here if n is equal to 1. Okay, if n is equal to 1, then mu is equal to what will get ma substitute n is equal to 1, mu is equal to ma root 3 Bohr magnetron. Root 3 Bohr magnetron. If n is equal to 2, okay, if n is equal to 2, then mu is equal to what will get beta. Here 2 you substitute. So 4. So n is equal to 2 condition case ma root over n into n plus 2. Then what will get here? So 4 plus 4 into 2, 8. So root 8 Bohr magnetron will get. Now given Mn plus 2 is my given. In Mn plus 2, how much magnetic moment is present? So first you calculate how many unpaired electrons are present. So manganese atomic number 25, Mn plus 2 case D5 is present. So D5 is one of 5 unpaired electrons are present. So D5 condition case, how many unpaired electrons are present? 5 unpaired electrons are present. That 5 you substitute there. N is equal to 5 you substitute. Like that the last for chromium plus 2. How many unpaired? What is the magnetic moment? Fe plus 2. What is the magnetic moment? Fe plus 3. What is the magnetic moment? Okay, in all cases, better you identify how many unpaired electrons are present. Unpaired only, not paired electron. Okay, unpaired electrons how many? Based on that, you can calculate its magnetic moment. Right. Next is the here. Next property here. See. So most of the D block elements also acts as a catalyst. So most of the D block elements are also acts as a catalyst. So why most of the D block element acts as a catalyst is due to variable oxidation state. So due to variable oxidation state, and the second is due to large surface area. So due to large surface area, most of the D block elements acts as a catalyst. Now here catalyst will be important. So we are generally using molybdenum as a catalyst in Haber's process. A promoter or iron is a catalyst in Haber's process. Vanadium pentoxide also one of the catalysts. Wilkinson catalyst. So rhodium triphenyl phosphine. These all are my catalysts. We are using in many examples is my important. So which is given in NCERT. That examples will be important here. Catalyst condition case. Next, coming to the here alloy formation. So what is alloy? Homogeneous mixture of two or more metals is called alloy. Homogeneous mixture of two or more metals is called alloy. Here alloy condition also examples is important. So brass, bronze, steel. Okay, it is made up of which elements are present and how much percentage also important. Okay, here also you just go through example which is given in NCERT only. That example is enough. Okay, brass, bronze, steel, like that they will ask over here. Next is coming to the complex formations. Coming to the complex formation, most of the D block elements will form n number of complexes. So for that only one separate chapter also there, that is coordination chemistry. There we will discuss clearly about this complex formation. Most of the D block elements will form n number of complexes because of variable oxidation state. Okay, because of variable oxidation state, it forms n number of complexes. Okay, n number of complexes. Next, coming to you see here some important points over here. So these are my general properties in this case. Then I am giving some general information related to this one. So one thing is melting point is more important here. Melting point and which is highest atomization elements is more important. Okay, some useful points I am giving over here. So melting points, highest melting point in 3D series I am giving. So generally, my melting point depends upon bonds, number of bonds. So number of bonds depends upon number of unpaired electrons. In which cases maximum unpaired electron is chromium contains maximum unpaired electrons. 6 unpaired electrons are present. You observe chromium atomic number also 24, 3d4, 4s2, stable is 3d5, 4s1. Then total how many unpaired electrons are present? 6 unpaired electrons are present. Means chromium can form maximum 6 bonds are present. Then to dissociate that 6 bond, high temperature will be required. For that only, chromium compounds will have maximum melting point in 3D series. Okay, melting point, highest melting point in 3D series is the chromium. So 3D next to 4D series, 5D series. Okay, then chromium group element, chromium, molybdenum, tungsten. This will be my important. So melting point, highest melting point in 3D, 4D and 5D series, highest melting point. Next is which element will have highest enthalpy of atomization. So highest enthalpy of atomization. Okay, highest enthalpy of atomization. Convert to the atom case ma. Now which element means that is vanadium. Okay, vanadium is the highest enthalpy of atomization condition. Next here one more property, copper. So copper X2 is my, see here copper X2 case ma copper present in plus 2. Okay, plus 2. But copper plus 2 iodide is one not possible. Copper this X2 ma in this X2 it may be fluoro or chloro or brom, but not I. Fluoro, but not iodide. Means copper I2 is one not possible. Cuprous iodide is one not possible at all. So cuprous iodide condition case ma it readily converted copper plus 2. So when treated with ma I minus, it converted to the cuprous iodide plus I2. Okay, cuprous iodide plus I2. Okay, copper plus 2. It readily converted to the ma copper plus 1 only. So copper plus 1 iodide system possible, but copper plus 2 iodide system not possible. Okay, copper plus 2 it oxidizes I minus 2 I2. This is very very important. Copper plus 2 oxidizes I minus 2 I2. Clear? Next one more thing also important over here with respect to manganese. So manganese maximum oxidation state, manganese maximum oxidation state is plus 7. But with fluorine, it maximum is plus 4. Okay, with fluorine, maximum oxidation status plus 4 only. MnF7 compound is does not exist. Okay, with manganese, maximum oxidation status plus 4 only. Okay, with manganese, fluorine with manganese plus 4 only possibility is there, but plus 7 is not possible. But with oxygen is manganese shows plus 7 oxidation state. MnO2 7 is exhibit here plus 7 possibility. With oxygen, manganese shows plus 7 is the oxidation state, but with fluorine, maximum is plus 4. Here, reason also important. What is the reason is fluorine forms single bond with manganese because fluorine valence is 1. But whereas oxygen forms double bond. Okay, oxygen forms double bond with oxygen. Because of this double bond character, it shows maximum plus 7 oxidation state. Okay, this is Mn2O7 structure. With fluorine, plus 4 only highest oxidation state, but with oxygen, plus 7 is the oxidation state maximum. Why? Because of double bond character here. Here only single bond character. Okay, these are the important points in this chapter. Then coming to this some compounds over here. Here two compounds will be important beta. One is dichromate and second is the paramanganate condition. Potassium dichromate as well as potassium chromate. Then coming to the first potassium dichromate I am taking. Here's compounds K2Cr2O7. K2Cr2O7 compound name is potassium dichromate. Compound name is what you see, potassium dichromate. Potassium dichromate. Then how to prepare this compound? To prepare this one, what is the ore I am taking? You see, iron chromate I am taking. Cr2O4. Okay, iron chromate I am taking. This one what? Iron. Yes, iron chromate. Now this one when treated with, so iron chromates are when treated with sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. Okay, sodium carbonate condition case, it converted to the Na2Cr2O7, Na2Cr4, sodium chromates will get, Cr2O4 will get sodium chromate. This sodium chromate is the yellow colored compound, Na2Cr4, sorry, here you take Na2Cr4, sodium chromate is the yellow colored compound. Okay, then in this case you add sulfuric acid, acidified conditions you take. Okay, acidified conditions you take, now it converted to the sodium dichromate, Na2Cr2O7 in crystalline form you will get. Okay, Na2Cr2O4 crystalline compound. Now this will be the orange colored compound. Sodium dichromate. This is only sodium chromate. Sodium dichromate is orange color compound. Then after formation of sodium dichromate, add KCl. So add KCl, then here replacement of ions will take place, then finally you will get potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O. This is for preparation method. Okay, what is the ore means? Iron chromate treated with sodium carbonate, you will get sodium chromate. Sodium chromate is my yellow colored compound, now acidified condition, add sulfuric acid. It converted to sodium dichromate. Okay, sodium dichromate. Then next add KCl case for potassium dichromate condition, right? Then see now here important thing is conversion. Now chromate converted to the dichromate means CrO4 minus 2, CrO4 minus 2 converted to the Cr2O7 minus 2. Okay, Cr2O7 minus 2. In both the cases, chromium present in plus 6 oxidation state. You observe carefully. In both the cases, chromium present in plus 6 state only. So chromate is now yellow. Here colors is very very important. Color is so very very important. Now this is now orange color, orange colored compound. Then chromates are readily converted to the dichromates, and dichromates are readily converted to the chromate. Means between chromate and dichromate always equilibrium is exists. But for this conversion, because this conversion always depends upon medium, whether acidic medium or basic medium, or at a particular pH. Okay. Now see at a particular pH, at a pH is 4 now. Okay, given here this pH will be important beta. So pH is exactly 4. Then equilibrium exists between these two. Okay, at pH 4, equilibrium exists between these two. Okay, but if pH is less than 4, means in acidic medium, H plus. Okay, in acidic medium is the arrow mark. Chromate converted to the dichromate means if pH is less than 4. Okay, pH less than 4 means now acidic condition. Exactly 4 only, that is AC. Exactly 4 only equilibrium. Now less than 4 condition or greater than 4 condition case. Then reverse reactions will take place. If it is OH minus is given means for basic medium. Now basic medium condition case you see here. Basic medium case what will happen? Orange converted to the dichromate. Important matter, H plus medium, chromate converted to the dichromate means intensity of orange color increases here. But in basic medium case, orange color converted to the yellow color, intensity of yellow color increases. Like that, they'll ask questions based on here. Then coming to the structures also, dichromate and chromate case. Now see chromate is Cr double bond O, so double bond O minus O minus. That is chromate structure. Double bond O, Cr double bond O. Here O minus is present. That is dichromate structure and chromate structure. In both the cases, chromium undergoes sp3 hybridization plus 6 oxidation state only. So both are diamagnetic or paramagnetic. Chromium plus 6 is D0. Then D0 is this both are diamagnetic only. So both are diamagnetic only. And then coming to the color. Color is chromate is yellow colored compound. So this beta yellow colored compound. Dichromate is orange colored compound. Next one more thing here. How many chromium oxygen bonds are present? In chromate total, see 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 chromium oxygen bonds are present. Then how many chromium oxygen bond lengths are same? Okay, how many chromium oxygen bond lengths are same? All bond lengths are same because of resonance. Okay, because of this resonance, all chromium oxygen bond lengths are same. So total 4 chromium oxygen bonds are present. So all bond lengths are same. So all bond lengths are same. Okay, all bond lengths are same. Okay, and then coming to the dichromate. In dichromate, how many chromium oxygen bonds are present? 1, 2, 3. This also 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 chromium oxygen bonds are present. But in out of 8 chromium oxygen bonds, how many oxygen bonds are same? So here resonance possibility till this system only resonance possibility because here no resonance. Then out of 8 6 chromium oxygen bond lengths are same. Okay, total is 8, but out of 8, 6 bond lengths are same. This is also important here. In dichromate, how many bond lengths are same? 6 are same. And they'll ask here what is the bond angle between these two. So bond angle is 126 is the bond angle. Okay, 126 degree is the bond angle. So for example, 126 degree is the bond angle present over there. This one is dichromate condition case. Okay. Next, one more thing here, some more reactions with respect to the dichromate. Now dichromate in acidic medium, it always converted to the dichromate K2 Cr2O7 in acidic medium. In acidic medium, it converted to the chromium plus 3. So means chromium plus 6 is converted to the plus 3 means how many electron transferred? 3 electron transferred per chromium atom. But total how many chromium atoms are there? 2 chromium atoms are present. Then N factor is the 6 here. N factor means number of electron transferred. Each chromium loses 3 electron. Total 2 chromium atoms are present. Then total N factor is 6 over here. Okay. Then similarly now this dichromate now acts as oxidizing agent or reducing agent. It acts as an oxidizing agent. Okay. Dichromate acts as a oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent means itself undergoes reduction and oxidize the other one. Then which reactions you see? K2 Cr2O7 when treated with, okay, K2Cr2 treated with, when treated with I minus, okay, I minus. Next is when treated with Fe plus 2 or when treated with Sn plus 2, okay, Sn plus 2 or H2S condition. Now it acts as the oxidizing agent. Itself undergoes reduction means where chromium plus 6 beta converted to the plus 6 in all the cases. Now I minus is present. You see, itself undergoes reduction and oxidize the other one. I minus converted to the I2. 0 converted, minus 1 converted to 0. Fe plus 2 beta converted to the Fe plus 2. Sn plus 4 converted to the plus 4. H2S, sulfur is the minus 2 converted to the 0. Okay, is 0. Sulfur 0 state. Elemental form we can convert. K2 Cr2O7 when treated with sulfuric acid. Along with sulfuric acid, I am adding hydrogen peroxide also. Okay. Dichromate when combines with sulfuric acid with hydrogen peroxide, then what product will get means one blue solid you will get, that is CrO5. So chromium pentaoxide is the blue color solid. So blue solid. In blue solid, chromium oxidation state. In CrO5, chromium present in plus 6 oxidation state. Okay, not plus 7, plus 6 oxidation state because the structure is what? Butterfly-like structure. So here CrO5 structure is this one. Then blue color solid. Color also important. Blue solid you will get. Now this blue solid when treated with two different reagents. One is with water aqueous medium, and here pyridine solvent or ethereal solvent. The CrO5 is stable in a pyridine or ethereal solvent, but unstable in aqueous medium. Unstable in aqueous medium, then Cr plus 6 is readily converted to the Cr3 plus over here. Clear beta? Then CrO5 in pyridine case stable. Means oxidation state remains the same, but CrO5 with water case unstable, plus is converted to plus 3. Okay, then you want to sequence wise. Dichromate with H2SO4 followed by hydrogen peroxide. So what is the product? In that product, what is the oxidation state of chromium? And what is the color of that particular substance? If that obtained product further treated with water molecule, then what is the change in oxidation state? If obtained product treated with pyridine solvent, then what is the stable product? Like that, the last year sequence is very, very important. This one. Okay, blue color solid, potassium dichromate with hydrogen peroxide and acidified. Clear? And next one more reaction is better related to the dichromate only. That is chromyl chloride test. Okay, that is only one chromyl chloride test. Chromyl chloride test. So chromyl chloride test. So what is use of this chromyl chloride test is used to identify chloride ions is present or not. Okay, chromyl chloride test is used to identify or detection of chloride ions in given inorganic compound. Okay, then what is product you will get means let us take one inorganic compound, add some potassium dichromate and acid. You will get red color vapor, that is chromyl chloride, CrO2Cl2. This is chromyl chloride. Okay, chromyl chloride formula is what you see. CrO2Cl2 is chromyl chloride. Color also important. Which color vapor means red color vapors will get. So formation of red color. Okay, and liberation of red vapor indicates that chloride is present in given inorganic compound. Okay, but here some limitations are there. Which ions does not give chromyl chloride test? Okay, limitations here now. This limitation is also important. Which ions does not give? This chloride with sodium is present. It gives. But if it is present, it's Ag. AgCl. It does not give this test. Okay, silver, lead, mercury, and antimony bismuth. These four ions does not give chromyl chloride test. Which of the following ion does not give chromyl chloride test? Silver, lead, mercury, the antimony. Okay, this four ion does not give chromyl chloride test. This is about first compound dichromate. Clear? Then coming to the second compound, permanganate, KMnO4, potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate. Then how to prepare this compound? So to prepare this compound case now we require pyrrolosite. Okay, manganese dioxide, its common name is pyrrolosite. Okay, now this is when fused with KOH. Okay, fused with KOH, it converted to the K2MnO4. So K2MnO4. Now what is K2MnO4 here? Potassium manganate. This is potassium manganate. Then from this potassium manganate we can synthesize potassium permanganate simply by the addition of acid or electrolytic decomposition. Okay, by using electrolytic technique condition. Then it converts to the KMnO4. KMnO4. This is my compound preparation. Okay, what is the starting material to prepare this compound? MnO2, pyrrolosite. This is my starting compound. It's KH, potassium manganate. Potassium manganate converted to the dichromate condition. And now see here compound with two compounds I'm taking. You see, one is manganate, second one is permanganate. Now that ions I'm taking, you see. First manganate ion I am taking, MnO4 minus 2 is the manganate. Next here MnO4 minus. Okay, MnO4 minus is permanganate. This MnO4 minus 2 sodium, right? Remove this one, then which ion this is? Manganate ion. So manganate ion, whereas this one permanganate ion. Okay, permanganate ion. Oxidation state, you check here, oxidation state is manganese oxidation state over here +6. Here oxidation state of manganese is +7. Here +7 you will get better. Here +6 you will get. Then tell me which is diamagnetic now. +7 is the 0 electron diamagnetic. Here +6 is the paramagnetic substance because of one unpaired electron is present. D7 right. But here +6 means one electron is present. Okay, then coming to the color. So potassium manganate is the green colored compound. Green colored compound, whereas potassium permanganate is the pink colored compound. Potassium permanganate is the pink colored compound. Then structures both will be similar structure. Here Mn double bond O, O minus, MnO4 minus 2. Here Mn double bond O, O minus. So here total 4 bonds are present. Which are present? 4 manganese oxygen bonds are present. 4 are same bond lengths only present. Okay, bond lengths are same because of resonance. Here also bond lengths are same because of resonance. Okay. Then coming to some chemical properties. Now for potassium permanganate, remember always BAN 153. N factor case BAN 153. Remember. So basic medium N factor 1. Acidic medium N factor 5, neutral medium N factor 3. Okay, means in basic medium Mn +7 converted to the +6, acidic medium Mn +7 converted to the +2 because N factor 5 means 5 electrons are lost. +7 minus. So this one we are treated with my different compound. One is oxalate C2O4 minus 2, Fe plus 2. NO2 minus. Next here SO3 minus 2 condition case. Let us give water it may be I minus also you take I minus be given I2. Then CO2 formation, Fe plus 3 formation, NO3 formation, SO4 minus 2 formation. Simple beta. Here this is plus 7. Oxidizing agent itself undergoes reduction, oxidize the other one. Carbon maximum is plus 4, then CO2. Fe plus 2 converted to Fe plus 3. Here color system important. Fe plus 2, Fe plus 3 is my color system important. Green, pink color. So NO2, nitrogen plus 3 plus 5. I minus I2 conversion. Okay, I minus I2 conversion. These are the reactions related to the potassium permanganate conditions. Okay, so basic medium, neutral or faintly alkaline will be same only. But neutral or faintly alkaline will be always same only. Okay, neutral or faintly alkaline will be always same. Now F black element case now. Here basically 5 points is my important. I will discuss that 5 points only. So first, how to identify F black element means differentiating electron enter into the last electron enter into the F subshell is called F black element. Okay. Now all F black elements are belongs to the group 3. All F black elements are belongs to the group 3. Again, in this F black elements are further classified into 2 types. Again, based on last electron entry only. If last electron entry is enter into the 4F subshell, that is called lanthanides. If last electron enter into the 5F subshell, that is called actinides. Okay, lanthanides and actinides. 4F series is called as lanthanide series. 5F series is called as actinide series. Okay. Then first general electronic configuration for these things. General electronic configuration for lanthanide series. Electronic configurations for lanthanide series. So general electronic configuration I am taking now N minus 2 F 1 to 14 or 0 to 14. Next N minus 1 D 0 R1 NS2. Okay, this is general electronic configuration for F black elements. Okay, if it is 4F condition, that is called lanthanide. 5F series is the actinide. 4F is lanthanide. 5F is the actinide. That is my electronic configuration. Then coming to the oxidation states. Oxidation state case now here possibility common oxidation state in this case. First thing is common oxidation state. Common oxidation state is my lanthanide plus 3 is the common oxidation state. Minimum oxidation state. Minimum oxidation state is the plus 2 is the minimum oxidation state. Maximum oxidation state. So maximum oxidation state is better. Plus 4 is the maximum oxidation state. Common is plus 3, minimum plus 2, maximum is the plus 4 is the oxidation state. Then next coming to the here, examples is here important thing. The element which is having F0, F7, F14 is the most stable one. Okay, no electron, half filled, completely filled is the most stable solid. Okay, F0, okay, F0, F7, F14 is the most stable electronic configuration. Completely filled, half filled with no electron is the stable electronic configuration. Then next coming to the atomic radii. Okay, coming to the third one, atomic radii. Okay, atomic radii in lanthanide case now. Lanthanide case which elements are present? Lanthanum to lutetium is present. So lanthanum to lutetium. Okay, lanthanum to lutetium size increase or decrease. So here lanthanum to lutetium size decreases. Size decreases. So what is the reason behind this one is important. So decrease in size due to poor shielding of F orbital is called a lanthanide contraction. Due to lanthanide contraction, from lanthanum to lutetium, ionic radii size decreases because of my lanthanide contraction. Okay, here due to decrease in size due to decrease in size due to poor shielding of F orbital. Poor shielding of F orbital is called lanthanoid contraction. Okay, decrease in size due to poor shielding effect of F orbital. Poor shielding of F orbital is called lanthanoid contraction. Due to that lanthanide contraction, lanthanum to lutetium or across the period here, size decreases. Okay, lanthanum to lutetium size decreases. Then applications of this thing. This is very, very important now here. Important point in this group is this one. Applications of lanthanide condition. So first application is the basic nature of the hydroxide. Basic nature of hydroxide. Basic nature of hydroxide. Now, see, for hydroxide general formula, I am taking to get hydroxide general formula for lanthanide common oxidation state is +3. Then hydroxide general form is so I am taking one metal that is lanthanide or actinide, whatever it may be. So MOH thrice is the general formula for hydroxide. Because here metal +3, hydroxide is -1, right? This is generalized form. Then the last year lanthanum to lutetium hydroxide. Basic nature increase or decrease the question. Okay. Now here starting is what lanthanum hydroxide. You see this one lanthanum, and the last is what here lutetium hydroxide is present. Lutetium hydroxide, lanthanum lutetium, basic nature increase or decrease. Now that depends upon, you see. So for that first you tell me here lanthanum +3 to lutetium +3. Lanthanum +3 to lutetium +3 size decrease or increases. So size of cation decreases. Okay. So size of cation decrease means now metal to hydroxide. Okay, metal to hydroxide bond strength is increases. Bond strength increases. So size decrease means no bond overlapping is more. Overlapping is more means no bond strength is increases. So bond strength is increased means first what is the reason for this basic nature? Because of hydroxide. Okay, in which cases hydroxide easily available, that will be the most basic. But you see lanthanum to lutetium, bond strength is increases. So bond strength increase means the tendency to donate hydroxide decreases. Okay, now lanthanum to lutetium, tendency to donate. So tendency to release or donate, what I do, tendency to release hydroxide capacity. So hydroxide capacity is decreases. Okay, hydroxide capacity decreases, then basic nature also decreases. Basic nature decreases. Okay, due to decrease in size, basic nature decreases. Then the last one, lanthanum hydroxide, lutetium hydroxide, which is most basic, which is the least basic. Okay, which is most basic now? Basic nature here decrease I am giving. Then lanthanum hydroxide. Okay, lanthanum hydroxide is the strongest base. Lanthanum hydroxide is the strongest base, whereas lutetium hydroxide is the weakest base. Okay, weakest base. Okay, just I am comparing this first one and last one only, but in between this total 12 elements will be present. So because F black is 4F condition case, total 14 elements are present. So we need to remember that 14 elements. The last order only. So lanthanum, cerium, like that, promethium, 14 elements are present. Then they simply tell you which is more basic, which is least basic. If these two elements is given, directly we can say which is most basic, least basic condition. For that, other than these two element case, so for that we have to remember that 14 elements. Solubility of salts. Which salts are more soluble? Again, same lanthanum +3 to lutetium +3. Lanthanum +3 to lutetium +3, size of cation decreases because of poor shielding effect of F-barbital. Size of cation decrease means polarization power from polarization power. Polarization power, small size cation, high polarization power. Polarization power increases. So as polarization power increases means covalent character, covalent nature increases because covalent nature directly proportional to the polarization power. As covalent nature increases means ionic nature decreases. Okay, ionic nature decreases. Now compare covalent compound, ionic compound, which are more soluble in nature. Ionic compounds are more soluble in nature. But here lanthanum to lutetium, ionic nature decreases, means solubility also decreases because ionic compounds are more soluble in nature. Then ionic nature decreases means solubility also decreases. Solubility decrease means precipitation tendency increases. So precipitation, PPT formation increases. Then the last, which will precipitate first and which will precipitate last. Okay, this is precipitation increase. Means which salt is first to precipitate? Now lutetium, lanthanum plus 3 salt and lutetium plus 3 salt. Okay, then they'll ask which of the following is first precipitated out or which will last precipitated out. Then tell me here which is first precipitated out. So precipitation capacity increase means lutetium is first to precipitate out. During separation technique, we can collect first lutetium, then lanthanum is the last to precipitate out. Okay, same from Fazan's condition, lanthanum lutetium size decrease, polarization power increase, covalent nature increase. As covalent nature increase, ionic nature reduced. Ionic nature reduced means solubility decreases. Solubility inversely proportional to the precipitation. More soluble, less precipitation. Less soluble, more precipitation. More precipitation means we can collect less one. So which will first precipitate or last precipitate? Lutetium is the first precipitate, whereas lanthanum salt is the last precipitate in this condition. Okay. Now, like D black element, F black elements also form n number of complexes, but comparatively less. D black elements only will form more number of complexes as compared to the F black elements. Okay. Then similarly, like D black element, F black elements also exhibit color properties. Again, there also same conditions be required. One unpaired electron is required, or at least one electron is required. Then in D black element case, reason is DD transition or dot transfer spectra. But in F black condition case, what will get? Color due to FF transition, because F orbitals are present, right? Here color due to FF transition condition. Here also same F0, F14 does not show color property because of no electron is present. Next in this reducing property also important, which is actually strong reducing agent, which is weak reducing agent. Now lanthanum to lutetium, lanthanum acts as a strong reducing agent. This lanthanum is the strongest reducing agent in this group. Strongest reducing agent in this group, whereas lutetium is the weakest reducing agent. So weakest reducing agent. Now these points will be important in this chapter. Okay. So first is my electronic configuration. Second thing is oxidation state. Third thing is my atomic radius. Atomic radius is lanthanide contraction. Okay, lanthanide contraction decreasing size due to poor shielding of f orbital. Poor shielding effect of f orbital is called lanthanide contraction. Then applications of atomic radius. One is basic nature of the hydroxide. Basic nature of hydroxide. Second thing is the solubility of salt. Okay, next is meta complex formation. Next is reducing property condition. Then same application we apply for actinide series also. This I am taking lanthanide, right? So decrease in size due to poor shielding effect of 4f orbital is called lanthanide contraction. 4f orbital is called lanthanide contraction. If it is 5f, that is actinide contraction. Okay, because lanthanide case electron entry in 4f subshell. Actinide condition case electron entry in 5f subshell. Then remaining properties will be same only this chapter. Okay. So this will be important beta. From this chapter, we can expect a minimum 3 questions in NEET examination. So coordination chemical, we can expect a minimum 3 questions in NEET examination. So that first thing is so classification of chemical compounds. First I am going to the classification of chemical compounds. So chemical compounds are classification of chemical compounds. Chemical compounds are classified into 2 categories based on in aqueous solution. Based on its behavior, all chemical compounds are classified into 2 categories. So one is double salt, double salt, and second one is complex compound. Second one is complex compound. Double salt, and the other one is complex compound. Then what is meant by double salt? The salt which undergoes 100% ionization. The salt which undergoes 100% ionization. Okay, the salt which undergoes 100% ionization is called a double salt. Complex salt means the salt which does not ionize. Okay, the salt which does not ionize 100% ionization. Means which undergoes only partial ionization. You take. Okay, which undergoes partial ionization. Partial ionization is called complex compound. Next, due to its 100% ionization in a solution, more number of ions are present. Okay, due to this 100% ionization in solutions, will get maximum number of ions will get. But due to its partial ionization in solutions, will get minimum number of ions only you will get. Okay, number of ions is directly proportional to the conductivity. This point is very, very important in this chapter. So number of ions is directly proportional to the conductance. Number of ions is directly proportional to the conductance. In which cases more ions are present? Double salt case. So for that it consists of high molar conductance value. High molar conductance value. High molar conductance value, but over here it is small because of minimum number of ion it consists small low molar conductance value or less molar conductance value. Less molar conductance value. Okay, high molar conductance value, less molar conductance value. Next, last point is important. Because of this 100% dissociation, double salt loses its behavior or loses its identity in solution. Okay, these components are loses its identity in solution. Okay, this compound is small loses its identity in solution, whereas complex compound retains its identity. Okay, retains its identity. Retain its identity in solution. These four differences are very important. Then I am giving one example for double salt case. So first, how to prepare double salt means mixing of 2 or more salt. So I'm mixing now KCl, MgCl2. Okay, this KCl, MgCl2. During this mixing, it holds some water molecule. So KCl, MgCl dot 6H2 or 2H2 water. It means some X number of water molecule that based on which cations are present. That is not fixed on always it is varying. Then it undergoes 100% ionization, right? Then what will get K plus Mg plus 2 and how many chlorides will get? 3 chlorides are present. Here water molecule is neutral. It won't dissociate at all. Okay, it won't dissociate. It exists in water molecule only. Now this one, see the salt which undergoes 100% ionization. So as a result, you will get a K plus Mg plus 2, 3 chloride ion. How many ions will get? 2 cation, 3 ions will get. But net charge is 0. Net charge is 0. Then coming to the double salt complex compound case, which undergoes partial ionization. So for that I am taking K2HgI4. So K2HgI4 I am taking. This one of compound. Then how it will dissociate? This complex it won't dissociate. Means the ions are the elements which are represented inside the square bracket. Inside the square bracket it won't dissociate. So simply this exists in ionic form. Means 2K plus 1 complex anion is now present. Minus 2 charge will get. Why minus 2 charge? Means because 2 unit positive charge is present. It undergoes partial ionization. Okay, this is called a complex compound, right? Then coming to the representation of now complex compound. Representation of complex compound. Representation of the complex compound. Then how to represent complex compound means now one metal combines with n number of ligands, it converted to the one complex that is MLN complex. Okay. Now here metal L represents my ligand. Then first now how to define ligand? You see here N represents L represents ligand. How to define ligand means ion, atom or molecule. An ion or molecule or atom which donate a pair of electrons to the central metal atom. Which donate a pair of electrons, 2 electrons to the central metal atom is called a ligand. It may be ion or molecule or atom which donate a pair of electrons to the central metal atom is called a ligand. Then as you can form one metal complex. Now this metal complex is called a coordination complex. Okay. This is coordination complex. Here metal atom ligand. This N represents coordination number. Okay. Coordination number. Coordination number. So this coordination number, it may be 2, 3, 4, 5. So how to define coordination number means number of ligands surround the central metal atom is called coordination number. Number of ligands surround the central metal atom is called coordination number. So coordination number, it may be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 also possible. If it is 2, it is square linear geometry. If it is 3, trigonal planar geometry. If it is 4, 2 geometries are possible. Tetrahedral as well as square planar, similar to the chemical bonding. Coordination number 4. Now coordination number 5, trigonal bipyramidal. Coordination number 6, octahedral geometry. like that possibility is there, right? Now here this metal complex, it may be charged or neutral. Okay, metal complex, it may be charged or neutral. That I'm taking neutral one. Now over here charge also present, some plus or minus charges present. Now this whole compound, then this complete part, so this complete part is called coordination sphere or co-sphere, you can say. Okay, coordination sphere or co-sphere, we can say that is one. Okay. Now the to neutralize this positive charge or negative charge, so side some ions also present. Now that part is called ionic part or counter ion part. So co-sphere is present, ionic sphere is present. If complex with positive charge is present, then ionic sphere ions are present. But if complex with one negative charge is present, to neutralize that one, in counterpart cations are present. In counterpart cations are present. Now one more thing important beta here, in a metal complex now, in metal complex just now we discussed it. So ligand, how to define ligand? Ion or molecule or atom which donate a pair of electrons to the central metal atom is called ligand. In a metal complex now question is, metal acts as a Lewis acid or Lewis base. Metal acts as a Lewis acid or Lewis base. Here metal complex are further classified into two types: homoleptic, heteroleptic. Homoleptic means what? Homoleptic complex. Name itself only, homoleptic, now heteroleptic. Okay, homoleptic, heteroleptic. Homo means if all the ligands are same. Here I am taking n number of ligands, right? If that all ligands are same, then that is homoleptic. If ligands is different, heteroleptic. Okay, homoleptic example, let us take now tetracarbonyl, listen, NiCO4. That is more homoleptic because 4 ligands are same. Then heteroleptic case, for example, let us take platinum. One is for ammonia twice, Cl2 I am taking. This one metal complex I am taking. Platinum NH3 twice, Cl2 2. Means here two different ligands I am taking. Then that is heteroleptic. If all the ligands are same, homoleptic. If ligands is different, that is heteroleptic complex. Okay, this is about basic introduction about this chapter. And again, this ligands also many types of ligands are possibilities there. So ligand, it may be positive ligand, neutral ligand, or a negatively charged ligand based on its denticity. Monodentate ligand, bidentate ligand, tridentate, tetradentate, pentadentate, hexadentate, like that. Different types of ligands is present, but the ligand which is given in NCERT, that you remember better, that is enough. Okay, because n number of ligands are there, that are not required. The ligand which is given in NCERT book, that alone you just remember over here. Okay, then coming to the Werner coordination theory. Otherwise, okay, better than tomorrow we'll continue that part. Okay, but today's topic is only Kali D and F like element. Tomorrow exam also that chapter only D and F like element. Okay, thank you all.